So our next speaker is a developer at City of Zion. He's the creator of the Neo dApp starter kit. He's a co-founder and full-stack developer at VDT. Rolls off the tongue, VDT. The first real-world solution integrating with his VDT network. He's a founder and lead full-stack developer at ClickDJ, the first of its kind and one of the world's most popular online music marketing software solutions. He's a founder and lead developer at VDT Network, a decentralized render farm built on Neo. Hailing from Amsterdam, give it up for Dean van Dukteren.
Thank you. All right, so my name is Dean van Dukteren, and I am the founder at VDT Network. You can follow me on Twitter, DeanPress. Get the plug right out the way. And that's VDT Network. So I'm a developer at City of Zion. I'm a contributor to NeoLink, which is like MetaMask, but for Neo. I'm also a contributor to NeoPHP. I'm the creator of the Neo dApp starter kit, and I also did a bunch of workshops in the Neo Tour, which is a licensing dApp. And anyone can contribute to that. It's for fun, it's for learning. You know, it's a tutorial. I'm also the founder at ClickDJ, which is one of the world's largest music marketing platforms. And I'm the co-founder at VDT, which is a first of its kind web-based video production and rendering application. So today I'm going to present VDT Network, which is a decentralized render farm built on Neo. So before we get into everything, I'm going to explain a bit about rendering. Rendering is the process a computer does when it turns a working project, like this is a 3D project in Blender, into a viewable end result. So this is what it would look like before rendering, and then this is what it would look like after rendering. So that's what you'd be looking at on YouTube. Not this one, that one would look pretty bad. In After Effects, you'd have your rendering process. You click the render button, you have your project, it's going to render, it's going to render, it's going to render, and then you have your end result, which you can upload to YouTube. Except it would take a couple hours longer than that. And then you have a render farm, which is a collection of machines which are dedicated to rendering. So before I get into VDT Network, I want to talk about how the project came to life, and that is with the creation of VDT. So VDT is an application that I'm building with the co-founder of Trap City. It is an application that lets YouTube channels render visualizers for music. So you might have heard of some of these channels, like Trap City and Trap Nation. They're two of the biggest, and CloudKid. These are all music brands. They're ran by curators, labels, artists, all that good stuff. And they render animated videos, which are synchronized to music every day. And just to give you an idea, these 3 channels alone already have served over 10 billion views on YouTube. To give you a better idea, Trap Nation is 3 times CNN on YouTube. So it's a pretty big industry. Now, there are a couple of issues or hardships that come with this industry, and that is the production and rendering of these videos. Videos like this, they're usually made by full-time employees, which are in service of the channel. They create the videos, they customize them, they upload it, they share it on social media, and that makes it very sensitive to user error. It's also an expensive process. It takes a long time to render, and yeah. So just to give you an idea, how long would you say a video like this? It's like 3 minutes, just a 3-minute song. How long would you think it renders? Like 1.5 hours. Yeah. How many? 4 hours? You saw Neo Amsterdam, don't cheat. Yeah, it's 2 to 5 hours. Now that's a really long time for just 3 minutes. Also, your machine is rendered useless. Get it? Yeah. All right, so with VDT, how long would it take with this new application? Under 20 minutes. So that is way faster. That is 800% faster. So obviously, channels already love us. We're already online. We're in closed beta. Channels are using us. It's already being used by some industry leaders, in fact. Now, we ran into a problem with VDT, and this is a recent problem. the software that we use for our backend used to charge us 1 license per server. They changed that model to 1 license per 4 CPUs. But generally, render nodes, they don't use 4 CPUs, at least not us. We use 64 CPUs. So we no longer pay 1 license per server. We now pay 8 licenses per server. And this is charged by the minute, so that was a big increase on our fees. So the solution to this problem was to no longer connect Videato directly to our own cloud render service, but to decentralize the rendering aspect of our service. But then a decentralized render farm, as you'd call it, would not only apply to Videato. It could be made modular, and it could be added to, plugged into any kind of application. So that solution, the decentralized render farm, that is VDT Network. So VDT Network is a decentralized render farm, and it's a development platform. This could apply to a whole bunch of industries, anything in entertainment, TV, film, music, gaming, animation, all the good stuff in entertainment. And this is what it would look like. VDT Network connects clients through applications and APIs to render nodes. And by render nodes, I mean render farms and other machines which are capable of rendering. So to give you a better idea, potential clients connect to applications. The applications communicate with render nodes through a decentralized protocol on a Neo with smart contracts, and then the render nodes return a desired file. It can also connect to other platforms. It can be plugged in. Other render nodes can also run VDT Network next to those platforms to expand their market, liquidity, etc. And what I like about this model is when you look at the clients and the application, this is what the end user sees. They don't need to know that they're connected to, to a whole plethora of decentralization and blockchain. Clients don't care about that. They just want to use an app. So apps and clients just connect like any other application. They can use any existing payments, anything the app wants to do, as long as the application connects with VDT Network. So people ask me, how would you define VDT Network? How would you compare it to this service or that service? And I always bring up a service that people don't generally think of when I talk about a decentralized rendering protocol, and that is loopring. Have you guys seen the loopring presentation? Yeah? Nice. OK. So loopring, some of the features of loopring, it's a lot more, but some of the features that I like to mention is that it's an open protocol. It's a decentralized exchange. It's a modular, pluggable order book, which applies to cryptocurrency and token exchanges. Now, with that in mind, think of VDT Network. VDT Network is an open protocol. It's a decentralized exchange. It's a modular order book. And it applies to automated computing, or in our case, specifically, rendering. Oh, is it stuck? I think it's stuck. Oh, we're one behind. I see. OK. There we go. All right, so that's what I was talking about. All right, so let's move on to some features that I'd like to introduce today. I'll keep it simple. This is a flowchart. It shows the rendering process. It'll be in the white paper. You'll be able to take a closer look. So let's move on to another feature, modularity. And with that, before I go into that, I'd like to show a video of Videato.
After uploading or selecting a template, let's render a video with Videato. First, click Create Video. You can upload your own background image or select one from the royalty-free image directory offered by Unsplash. You can adjust the way the image shows as your video's background by dragging and zooming it. Select your audio file. Your video's information, such as artist and title, will be automatically filled in by Videato. Customize your YouTube upload details such as video title, description, and tags. Once you hit create, the video will start rendering on Videato's cloud platform and upload it to your YouTube channel within minutes. The render is now complete. Here's a part of the resulting video. Here's what some other YouTubers are doing with Videato.
All right. So, fun fact, the first 3 songs, I used to be a music producer. Those were made by me. I use those so I don't get any copyright trouble, for using it here. I hereby, allow myself to do that. All right, so what you just saw was the front-end process of the Videato application. And now I'll show you how that would interconnect with VDT network, the protocol in the backend. So Videato, basically, the user generates or uses a configuration. They enter details, song files, and then Videato, the application, uses that data to create a task object. That's something that will go into VDT network, something that VDT network and render nodes can interpret. This is just a very simple, basic idea of a task object. So to demonstrate, a client, an end user, would connect to an application such as Videato. Rolls off the tongue. Videato generates, or an application generates, a render object, a task object for VDT network to interpret. Now with that, VDT tokens are staked. That will be used as the incentive for rendering the content. Then a render node picks up that render task, and it outputs a desired end result, the result that's desired by the application. Render nodes are incentivized. Percentage of the tokens are burned. And then the incentive is sent back, or VDT network sends back the end result to the application. So that's kind of the process of an application, a user interacting with an application, application interacting with VDT network, and so forth. So another feature I want to talk about is trust. Trust is obviously very important in a rendering economy. And by trust, I mean trust for all parties. And by trust for all parties, I mean that private material remains private. It would suck if you had a 3D model or animation, for example, send it to some random render node, and then the render node just downloads the content and gives it to God knows who, and then you suddenly find your 3D model sitting in the background of a Hollywood animation, and you're like, hey, I made that. That's not good. The second part is you want to assure a maximum success rate. You can have a verification process, but a decentralized one will be, slow. You have to verify different frames, and it would only make things more slow and expensive. So you just want the success rate to be maximized from the beginning. And that brings me to you have to have the ability to handle disputes effectively. If something's wrong, you want both parties to be able to solve that effectively without instantly heading to dispute processes and verification processes. So how do you assure trust for all parties involved? VDT network uses digital identity to solve this issue. And this is how it would look like. VDT network offers a standardized protocol and digital ID. 2 parties, render nodes, applications, or render node providers and applications can verify each other's quality and performance. Based on that, they can make off-chain agreements. And then VDT network generates personalized individual markets for those parties. So this is what VDT network looks like. And this is what it looks like with digital identity. So you have render nodes, render node providers connected with a digital identity, and you have applications connected with a digital identity. So upcoming next, we have a white paper and light paper released on the VDT network website. We'll have token sale details. We'll have an actual token sale, exchange listings. We'll release application and API modules, frameworks, so applications and render nodes can be built. We'll have a release for private net. We'll build our own physical render farm, which we will use to kickstart new applications and render companies, etc. We'll have a testnet beta release, a public net release. There we go, render farm for partners. And we'll have a VDT public release, which is for the VDT application, which is currently in closed beta. So that's kind of the things that we have upcoming next. There we have the render farm. We'll build our own physical render farm, which we'll use to kickstart integration and assure quality for new partners, applications, and clients. So to summarize, VDT Network is an open protocol. It is a decentralized exchange. It allows for automated rendering. It uses digital identity for trust. It offers APIs, modules, and frameworks. And there's a 1% incentive token burn to assure proper use of the decentralized render economy. So that is VDT Network. Thank you. So you can go to vdt.network. You can sign up to the newsletter there if you want to hear all the news. You can follow VDT_network on Twitter. And I'm not sure if we have time for questions. Maybe one. Hold on. So you can follow me on Twitter as well. I'm Dean Press. And we're also looking for additional team members. If you think you have anything of value to add, then you can contact me after DevCon or contact me by Twitter or email contact@vdt.network, and we'll get back to everyone. Thank you.